Was what happened to Charlie Kirk the result of a plan? Or was it a tragic snafu that just went chaotic? Y'all, here I am. I have a theory. And I haven't heard very many people talk about this theory, but here I go. And again, I'm not making any accusations. This is just a theory, but I want you to hear me out because, well, in my brain, it makes sense. Do you all remember what happened to President Trump when the attempted assassination of President Trump, when he was shot, but all it did was graze his ear, right? Now, wasn't a very good marksman. I'm just saying that whole thing was messed up. They were ultimately supposed to kill him, and they didn't. It just happened to graze his ear. Now, a lot of theories online were that was just a show, that they just grazed his ear because then all of a sudden the Democrats were being violent and, you know, all of the things came out. We all remember the headlines. We all remember all of the conspiracy theories and all of that. But a lot of people thought that was done on purpose, that was the plan to graze his ear, to make it look like an assassination attempt on Trump's life. But it really wasn't meant to kill him, just to really stir a pot in the political world, right? Well, what if the same thing was supposed to happen to Charlie Kirk? What if this whole situation with Charlie, this whole plan or plot or whatever, conspiracy, right, against Charlie Kirk wasn't supposed to end in his demise? It was just supposed to create headlines, just like what happened to Donald Trump. And then ultimately, they made a mistake. It was a boo-boo. Oopsie, he's dead. And that would explain so many things, or at least it does explain all of this in my head. I'm going to mention a few of them, but I will go into deeper in later videos when I do my videos later on, and I'll explain a lot of them more in depth. But here, I'm just trying to put the theory out there to see if anybody else thinks the way I think, if their brain works the way mine does, right? Now, we all remember him sitting there. Charlie Kirk was sitting there. He put the microphone down between his legs. Like, he almost looked like maybe he knew what was going to happen, right? Like he was waiting for it. Just, he was sitting there still, microphone was down, and then they took the shot. And we all remember the people in the background, right? Getting on the phone, calmly walking behind the tent. Well, did that happen because that was supposed to be the plan? There was supposed to be a shot, and they didn't realize that he was going to end up dead, that it was only supposed to be a graze just for headlines, and then we're really shocked and panicked when it ended up killing him and getting him right in the jugular? I don't know. That's really how my brain was thinking. It really answers a lot of questions for me personally. All right. It explains the behavior. All of a sudden they panicked, and this man is laying there now on the ground dead, and they're panicking and they're grabbing camera footage and, you know, ripping down cameras and all of the things, right? Because their plan didn't go as it was supposed to. It didn't play out the way it was supposed to. He wasn't supposed to end up dead. And I think that that's why they panicked. And I don't know. In my head, it just makes sense because all of the things that happened in the aftermath, everything that happened after Charlie Kirk died, just seemed chaotic and messy. If this was the plan for him to die, I feel like whomever decided that they wanted him dead would have had a better plan in place to make everything really just clean, right? Have all the answers ready, have, you know, just so everything runs smooth. Because if you're going to plot something like that, then you want the aftermath to be just as smooth. But the aftermath didn't happen like that. It wasn't cool, calm, and collected. In fact, people were getting caught in lies. It's just really, really messy. And so I wonder if the ultimate ending was supposed to be just a graze, just for headlines, put him out there, and not necessarily end in his demise. We all remember that conversation or that telephone call that they said that Erica Kirk received after Charlie Kirk was shot, right? How much do you know? Oh, I know everything. When I thought about my theory in the fact that it wasn't supposed to end in his demise, I thought about that telephone call. And it really fits the narrative for me. It makes sense on why those were the words included in that phone call. How much do you know? I know everything. So then you know that we were supposed to just shoot at him, but it didn't go as planned, allegedly, right? It just fits for me. How much do you know? I know everything. Well, Charlie's dead. Well, that didn't go as we planned. Now we have to run around and do damage control because it didn't end the way people expected it to. Maybe it's reaching, maybe it's not. I feel like the behavior of the people standing behind him, there was nobody directly behind him. They were all safely off to the side. It just makes sense. The calmly picking up the telephone, yes, it happened, not realizing that he was a goner and just walking behind the tent on the telephone and just, talking until the panic that, oh my gosh, he's dead. And then all of a sudden, damage control ensued. Grab the cameras, grab this, grab that. Like, oops, what, I just feel like there was more to this than just that he was ultimately supposed to be dead. I do absolutely believe that this all could have been a plan that went wrong. That the result of this wasn't supposed to be his demise, but just be enough for headlines. Just like what happened to Trump. And I don't know, guys. I just feel like all of these things make a lot of sense in my head. Did somebody ultimately want him gone and maybe they purposely foiled the plan? It's possible. I just feel like with all of the mess in the aftermath of that very moment, right down to, the getting him to the hospital, like all of that stuff, all of the interviews afterwards and all of the not being prepared with the answers, the correct answers, because let's be real. If the plan was to ultimately have him gone, then they would have prepared for that, right? The interviews, the questions, the answers, how they behaved, all of that stuff would have been planned out just as well as the act itself was planned out. But it wasn't. It was a hot mess. The fake tears, you know what I mean? Like really riding it afterwards. Like I really feel like, well, now we have to fix it and go along with it. That's what I believe happened. That explains to me why it's just so messy afterwards. They weren't expecting that to be the result. And then their damage control is just a hot mess. A hot mess. What about, not very many people I've seen bring out this theory. And to me, it just seems possible. And I'm not saying that other people's theories aren't possible at all. To each his own with the theories where there's going to be a lot of them. I just feel like this, for me, it fits. It really does fit. Did Charlie know that there was supposed to be an incident? Well, it makes sense if you really think about it because, we knew about the text messages and the phone calls that he was making the night before, right? I don't know. I have a feeling I'm going to die. He kept telling people, I have a feeling I'm going to die. Well, why did you have a feeling you were going to die? Because you were concerned that the plan wouldn't go as planned, that one simple move and it can all go. Like, were you concerned? Was he concerned that the plan may not go perfectly as it may not have? Was he concerned that, man, like I move 1 inch to the left, or if I move a little bit, I'm a goner? Like, could that be what those phone calls were all about? I feel like they're going to kill me. I feel like I'm going to die because did Charlie know that that was supposed to be the plan? Make headlines just like Trump. And again, I'm not saying that that's definitely what happened with Donald Trump. There's no accusations there. I'm just saying those are the theories that people are running with online. And so, I don't know. It just got me thinking. And so, the more I think, the more I go down this, well, it's possible that it was all just a plan that didn't work out in the end. I think that were they trying to make it a point to say political violence on the left and look what happened to Charlie just because he was speaking and make him some kind of martyr, like, oh my gosh, they attempted to take his life and how violent are they being and blah, blah, blah. The same thing as Trump, right? I don't think that they were prepared for his demise. I think that may have been an accident. I don't know. I haven't heard this theory a lot, but guys, I'm really interested to know what you all think. I mean, is it possible? Is it possible that he wasn't supposed to die? Is it possible that there are people out there now trying to call it out because they knew that the original plan wasn't this, and now they're questioning the plan? Man, I feel like this was supposed to be a setup politically to try and show that the left is unhinged and violent, and you don't want to vote for them because look what they're trying to do to anyone who speaks the supposed truth. I mean, how did they miss Trump with that head? Let's be for real. Like the man got a big old noggin. You missed him and grazed his ear. I mean, whoever decided to shoot at him wasn't, I mean, make sure you're good at your shot. I mean, that was a big enough target, don't you think? I don't know. So was that not true? Was there really not an assassination attempt, but that was just a plot with Trump? Just to, again, we all remember the headlines that came out after that. We all remember the left is unhinged. I'm speaking out and they're all trying to come and get me. Do you want to vote for that? People who are going to go to resort to violence and assassination attempts just to silence me because they're afraid that I'm speaking the truth. I don't know. But that whole plot fits into Charllie Kirk as well. And then she comes out, Erica Kirk, and don't get me started on that one. That one's just wild. But Erica Kirk comes out now pushing J.D. Vance, all political. Like your husband just died and you're worried about presidencies? Was that the plan all along? To make sure that they're pushing out Vance, and because look what they did to my husband. They attempted to take his life, and the left is so violent, and JD would never allow this to be. It just fits. I just don't think that they expected that result, the result that they got. I don't believe that they expected that he was going to die. And it makes sense why she's not showing, or Erica Kirk is not showing the grief that the rest of us are expecting her to show. Because you have to think about it with grief. Our brain, it goes right back to nonverbal cues, right? Like you can tell what I'm thinking, or, you know what I mean? Like what mood I'm in just by looking at me. We can pick up on nonverbal cues because our brain is able to take how somebody looks and appears and interpret that into an emotion, right? Like if you're sitting there all like, oh, well, you don't have to say nothing, but my brain is going to interpret that into you're angry about something. So our brain is automatically picks up nonverbal cues. Grief is one of those things that our brain should just automatically pick up on. We should look at somebody being extremely sad, being extremely emotional, like, I just lost my husband, and ooh, hoo, hoo. And our brain should automatically, even without words, just looking at the person, be able to interpret that emotion that they're displaying. But if you notice, for a lot of the public who have been watching her, not just listening to her words, but watching her behaviors, their brains are not interpreting what they see as grief. But we're being told verbally, this is grief. But our brains are not picking up those cues because our brains are not recognizing that as grief. Our brains are not picking up the visual grief as we're hearing you say grief. It's not clicking in our brains. And so a lot of us are questioning it, like, that's not grief. Like, my brain is saying that's not what grief looks like. You can tell me all you want that it's grief, but if I shut the volume down and I watch you, my brain is not interpreting what I'm saying as grief. And so that right there is a red flag for people. That's not grief. I don't know what to call that. Maybe the brain isn't able to articulate it for everybody, but the brain is responding saying, I don't recognize that behavior. And so maybe because the emotion is different, because what we're seeing is more guilt and not necessarily grief. Am I making sense? Like, I don't know. I just feel like we don't recognize it as grief. And she's not grieving because she knew, supposedly, allegedly, for entertainment purposes only, she knew, Erica Kirk knew that that was a plan. And maybe the plan was it was supposed to graze him, but, well, somebody else decided, I'm going to change the outcome myself and make sure I get the outcome that I want. And maybe that's what, the people who are calling it out without actually calling it out, well, maybe that's what they're talking about. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what they mean when they're like, somebody turned on him, somebody really close turned on him. Well, because somebody really close to him didn't follow the plan. The plan changed. Somebody did it on their own. And so somebody really close to him with this plan, well, yeah, they stabbed him in the back. I don't know. To me, it may sound wild to a lot of people, but listen, a theory is a theory. I'm not telling you this is fact. I am not sitting here telling you that this is exactly what went down. I'm not. I'm just offering it up as a theory. It's something that my brain is trying to play around with. Are there alternate theories? Does something else make better sense than they just had this dramatic plot to unalive him, to kill him? And you know what I mean? Could it have just been like, oopsie? So, I don't know, guys. I'm really curious to see what you guys think about my little theory here. Like, in my brain, and again, I don't know, my brain is, I'm very, listen, it makes sense in my brain. Your brain doesn't function like mine. So is it making sense to you, or am I just sitting here making nonsense up and just sounding like a fool? But again, I feel like it's a possibility. I feel like a lot of things fit. But tell me, am I off the walls for saying this? Am I thinking a little cray-cray? Am I like just going way off the path here? Or is it possible that, yeah, you know what? Ivory, your theory may have something to it. I'm just curious to see how you guys were thinking when it came to this. Tell me, like, did anybody else think like that? Like, snafu. Like, was anybody else thinking that maybe this wasn't the plan? It was just another plan that went wrong? Or have you heard other people talking about it? Because I'm not going to lie, I haven't seen anybody else making this a possibility. If I have, if there is somebody out there, guys, send them to me, because I'm really curious to see their perspective on the whole thing. I haven't seen any myself. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Am I off the charts crazy? Is it a possibility? Or, you know what I mean? Like, I know it goes against, listen, it goes against Candace Owens. And listen, I like Candace Owens. I like to watch her. Candace Owens is entertaining. Candace Owens will drop a receipt and bring facts. I love it. However, like, I don't, she's assuming, she's speculating, and she's guessing, hopefully, and she doesn't know anything, but she's speculating just like the rest of us. I don't go and take everything Candace Owens says and make it word. Oh, Candace Owens says this, so this is exactly what happened. I am definitely one that says, hey, you know what? I hear your theory. I like it, but I'm going to listen to your theory. You guys know how I work. For those of you who have been with me for a while, you know how I work. I like to listen to all sides and then really come up with my theory. And I feel like right now, where I sit, as I listen to people, as I read up on it and watch them and do all the things, I feel like in my brain, this might be the theory that fits. So again, guys, let me know. I'm going to be doing more videos on it, really going deeper to show you the many, many reasons with the proof on why I think these things. Today, I just came on here and just wanted to throw it out there to see, hey, maybe I'm onto something. Like, you know what? You sound, yeah, it's a possibility. And don't just agree with me because, to flatter me. Don't. I mean, let me know the truth. I'm really curious to see what everyone says, but I will be doing more videos on it, guys. I know these lives have been pre-recorded. I have a lot going on with the kids, but I will be doing a live, I believe, tomorrow night. Tomorrow's Saturday. And so I should be doing an actual live with, chats and all that stuff then. So I hope everybody comes over there. In the meantime, guys, I just want to let you guys know, I really do appreciate it. I have been focusing a lot on this channel and putting a lot of time and effort. And so I appreciate you all for recognizing it. Do me a favor. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, like the live if you like the content. Guys, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. And do me a favor, for those of you who know somebody on here and you might like Ivy Rose, go share this out. Share me with them. I really do appreciate it for all the support. And guys, I'm going to end this here, but come at me in the comments because I may be doing some video responses to some of the comments like I used to do. I think I'm going to bring that back and do some video responses to the comments. So I appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you guys later.